In 2021 alone, 45,000 people died from gun violence. Due to conflicting opinions on gun safety, very few gun regulations have been changed in the past 20 years since the Columbine shooting. School shootings have increased dramatically since the Columbine Tragedy in 1999 due to the lack of gun control in America. On April 20th, 1999, Eric Harris and Dylan Kobold went into school with the intention to kill hundreds using propane bombs they planted under the cafeteria. When the bombs failed to detonate, they entered the school with semi-automatic rifles and pistols, which they used to kill 13 people and later themselves. They were 17 and 18 years old when they illegally bought weapons that they used in the shooting. With stricter gun regulations, the chance of them illegally purchasing the weapons would be dramatically decreased. Other countries have taken different approaches to gun restrictions, like Australia. After a mass shooting killed 35 people in Port Arthur, new laws were enforced within the next 12 days. They confiscated and destroyed around 700,000 guns, cutting the gun owners down to half. Since then, there's only been one mass shooting in the past 26 years. With stricter gun laws, the U.S. could cut down on shootings as many other countries have with simple regulations. Just a week after Columbine, the CEO of the National Rifle Association, Wayne LaPerrie, said, "We believe in absolutely gun-free schools, zero tolerance." Now, 20 years later, they're saying the exact opposite. They stand to put more guns in schools, arming coaches and teachers. The NRA is a group of powerful people in America who stand for the right to openly carry guns with no interference from the government or law enforcement. They're extremely influential in the decisions made on gun control due to the large amount of money they donate yearly to the numerous Republicans and other members of Congress. The number came out to be $250 million in 2020. There are around 35 shootings that could have been prevented with stricter gun laws, resulting in the death of 446 people. 5% or 20 out of 35 shooters used an extended magazine, which is able to hold more ammunition. Those 20 people who used an extended magazine killed an average of 16 people each. To avoid red flag laws, many people buy guns from online magazines, which do not require a background check to purchase the gun. The same rule goes for private sellers, which makes it very easy for a gun to be in unfit hands. The Second Amendment allows states to make their own gun laws. However, there's a flaw in this. If someone was denied a gun in a state with strict gun laws, they could easily go to a neighboring state with loose gun laws and regulations and purchase a weapon. Mass shootings are just a fraction of the gun violence that occurs in America. With stricter gun laws, we can prevent hundreds of deaths yearly. 392 people have been killed and 1,119 injured in school shootings since Columbine. Columbine was the most deadly school shooting until it was later passed by the Virginia Tech shooting, killing 32 people, including the shooter, in 2007. 5 years later, in 2012, was the Sandy Hook shooting in Newton, Connecticut. 20-year-old Adam Lanza shot and killed 26 people, 20 of those being 6 to 7-year-olds. It was later found out that Lanza was struggling with severe mental illness and should have never been able to access the gun. And 46% of the shooter showed previous interest in harming others prior to the event. 19 states have expanded on red flag laws when purchasing a gun for better assurance that someone in crisis does not have access to a weapon to harm others or themselves. With more states putting this law into action, there will be a decrease in danger surrounding guns when only having them in responsible households. The dramatic increase of school shootings is due to the lack of gun laws in America since the Columbine massacre 20 years ago. Over the last decade, shootings have risen 75%, with nearly 54 people dying daily from gun violence.